Hello, I'm Jean. In this short screencast, I'm going to give you feedback to last week's summary. First of all, I'm not sure what happened here at the end, but it's incomplete. Did what you typed not get saved somehow? I'm not very sure what happened. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The TED video, remember we usually include the title of the video. Right. Name of the speaker, good idea. Now, remember we keep saying that the first sentence should be argumentative. It should express the main idea of the video, of the lecture, in an argumentative way. So the best reporting verb that can help you do that would be, which reporting verb would be a good one to use? Discusses is very descriptive, right? So argues that, claims that, something like that, right? And then you should complete that sentence, argues that, claims that. You should complete that with the main idea. And look at how unhelpful this and sort of vague this is. The implicit bias has its effects. It doesn't say very much about the claim or the main argument, does it? Sure, the implicit biases have their effects, but what are they, right? So you should try and in one sentence you should capture the gist of the whole video, and simply saying that it has its effects is just not enough. So you want to expand that and make it more specific, right? Because saying that it has its effects is a little bit vague. He highlights, very good use of reporting verb, he highlights three primary characteristics of implicit biases. As the first one, he mentions, I think it's better to use the plural, biases, their ability, because he's not talking about one bias, he's talking about implicit biases as a whole category. So plural, the plural is much better. As the first one, he mentions their ability to operate at the subconscious level. You're missing an article here. Without making us aware of their presence. Okay, so you're trying, I can see that you're trying to paraphrase in your own words what the speaker says, which is good. I applaud that effort. Instead of repeating the wording of the speaker, you're trying to avoid plagiarism and you're really rephrasing it your own words, which is very good. And your style is quite good. So, yeah, little things. Their ability to operate at the subconscious level without making us aware of, here the preposition is making us aware of their presence. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Now here, up to here everything is tight other than the first sentence. And then you have this very long protracted clause after clause. And that's where the word order kind of gets a little bit difficult to follow. So what I would suggest, split this long sentence into two, and that will be much more manageable and more clear. Okay. Second point, again, you can mention the speaker. A second characteristic Hockett mentions is that implicit biases mostly go against conscious beliefs. Up to here, I would just stop here, because look at how kind of awkward the syntax is, and in combination with the third characteristic, which states that mental response to stimuli bias is rapid and automatic, makes its nature and origins complicated. You see, this is a complicated sentence overall. I understand you tried to combine the two, which is okay, it's a good idea, but you have to have the syntax should be tighter, more controlled. So to be on the safe side, you may just be better off splitting it into two separate sentences. A second characteristic mentioned by Hockett is that blah blah blah. Furthermore, biases that would be the third one. Furthermore, biases or as according to Hockett or something like that. Which states that, yeah, see, the characteristic cannot state, right? The speaker states, not the characteristic. The characteristic is that mental response to stimuli is our mental response to stimuli of bias. Yeah, is rapid and automatic. Makes its nature and origins complicated. Yeah, I would just rephrase this whole bit. Just make it simpler and clearer overall. And you're right that its nature and origins are complicated, but this is a very complicated way of saying it. Although I've seen the video, so I know what you're talking about. But for someone who hasn't seen the lecture, it will be very difficult to understand what's going on here in this highlighted bit. So just make it more clear. You know, I could say, moreover, as Hockett explains, we respond to mental stimuli through rapid and automatic associations, which create biases or something like that. And that's it, right? A little bit simpler. And then if you, because I think it's a good idea to say that its nature and origins are complicated, use another sentence. You could say, all these three characteristics together make biases, make the nature of biases complicated, or something like that. Okay. Moreover, the speaker shares his arguments towards reasons. Again, this is kind of wordy. Shares his arguments towards reasons of focusing. Maybe you can just reduce the wordiness here, right? Just state it more simply. Let me highlight this sentence as well, so you know you need to work on it. I'll just say simplify. Okay, and separate into separate sentences. Moreover, the speaker argues that, or actually what is this part of the video? The second part, he's basically giving recommendations. And so you can say the speaker gives 3 recommendations. Now, these are steps that we can take in order to solve the issue of biases, to address our own biases, which can initiate positive changes within society. Very good. That's a good way of putting it. Within the country, okay. Which country, we don't know. You haven't mentioned the country, so in society maybe. Because if you say within the country and we don't know which country it is, somebody who hasn't seen the video will not know. So maybe within society, something like that, right? Make it a bit more clear. Okay. Yeah. These are 3 recommendations. And what are they? First, we need to do this, then we need to do that. But again, all of that is missing here because something happened and you did not finish this paragraph. Now, what I can say overall about this unfinished summary, your style is good, obviously, but you do need to work a little bit more to make it up to the standard. Everything has to be very clear. It has to have a clear structure, and obviously it has to be finished. It has to be the whole summary. So remember, we need to end in a conclusion which summarizes the whole speaker's the whole video, right? Okay, I'm glad you submitted, but we want a little bit more. Okay, I hope you find this feedback helpful, and I hope to see you soon. Good luck.